Welcome back to the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, and in this video we are going over the potential of Nintendo having a Nintendo Direct very soon. It is expected to be in September, right? But of course, because of the lack of E3, the question is, what does Nintendo have planned for the month of June? Let's talk about it.
Welcome to the Odyssey. Hit the like, press play. You're running with the squad like Xenoblade. Drive like Mario, we on a...
Right, so mark your calendars, set your reminders, because this Friday on the Nintopic podcast, we have none other than the voice actress Heather Gonzalez, the voice of Mineru in Tears of the Kingdom. Yes, you heard me right. We have the voice actress of Mineru for Tears of the Kingdom, Heather Gonzalez. She will be with us this Friday, June 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So set your reminder in your calendar. And I have just posted the flyer in the community area here on the channel. If you would love to ask Heather a question, go ahead, visit that community center, go on the flyer and leave your question down below in the comments. You can also leave a question by joining our Discord links in the description and visiting the podcast questions channel. All right, Heather Gonzalez this Friday on the Nintopic podcast. And this news comes to us by GoNintendo.com. They are the main source of this news, and we are categorizing it just like they are rumor. Their title says Nintendo to have additional digital showcases this year. A possible E3 Direct? Question mark. Of course, we know that E3 is canceled. There is no E3, but maybe Nintendo is still having their Nintendo Direct in place of where E3 would have taken place. And the reason why they did not attend E3 is because maybe the games they're about to announce are not as big to announce in an E3 event. So let's go ahead and read over here, and then of course let's talk about it, because I have my own personal opinions that I want to share with you on a Nintendo Direct possibly coming within the next few weeks. Let's go ahead and get started here. Earlier this year, we learned that E3 was once again canceled after hearing many big names, including Nintendo, weren't attending. This disappointing news for many, as Nintendo always held a great Direct for the event. Last year, after a similar E3 cancellation, we never got a full-fledged Direct, only a partner showcase. Because of this, many are wondering if Nintendo will have a Direct during this year's E3 time frame. The E3 time frame basically is June, where E3 normally has their events. So according to Ethan Gotch of Kotaku, Nintendo is planning on having a digital showcase sometime this year. While the this year portion is a little vague with how close it is to E3 season, it seems likely we could be getting a presentation pretty soon. This could be backed up by the second part of this tweet, which says that expect more news from him in coming weeks and months. So basically, this is Ethan Gotch, a person who works or belongs to Kotaku, and he stated that sources are telling him that both PlayStation and Nintendo will have additional digital showcases this year. Though the big word there is additional. Now, we know that Nintendo normally has 2 to 3 events per year, right? Normally the presentation for the June one, the summer one, is attached to E3. And of course, Nintendo last year without E3, they did their own partner showcase, their indie directs, and their only one game direct. For example, I think it was Bayonetta one time that made a one game direct during an E3 absence year. And well, besides that, we haven't seen a full-fledged Direct for Nintendo. In September will be the next month. But the problem is with this thing here is that in the month of February, Nintendo normally announces the second half of the year, meaning they fill up the entire calendar year in the month of February. They start filling it up in September, where in September Directs, Nintendo basically announces the beginning of the following year, January, February, March, April, May. And then within the next Nintendo Direct in February, that's when they announce the rest of the year, the second half of the year, starting in July, sometimes in June. And well, this year we did not have that. That's why a lot of people in February we were all worried that the year was empty just because the second part of the year had nothing to announce. There was nothing but Pikmin 4 at the end. Of course, there's speculating a lot of Nintendo next gen gaming rumors and a whole bunch of other things that came along. But we have never been in a position since the Switch was out where in the second half of the year there was absolutely nothing. Now, for those of you saying no, there's no Nintendo Direct in June because you've heard it from other YouTubers and maybe they're more credible than I on this, I want to tell you that in the perspective of a shareholder and in the perspective of a businessman, not a YouTuber, not a gamer, okay? The perspective of a shareholder and the perspective of a company trying to make money. Nintendo will never cancel a holiday season. And Nintendo will never shadow drop a holiday season. A holiday season is planned ahead of time in order to create, to promote that holiday season sale and to basically, make sure that their stocks do not go down, that they are having sales going on during the most the most important time of the year and the busiest time of the year when it comes to sales for Nintendo. Out of 10 million sales, okay, out of 10 million consoles, Nintendo sells about 7 million in the holiday season, right? If a game, let's say in a game, this is only hypothetical, if in a year a game sells 20 million, guess what? In the holiday season, that game just sold 12 million copies in the holiday season alone. That's why I'm telling you, as a business person, as a shareholder person, it makes sense for Nintendo to announce games very soon. Now, I don't personally know what they have planned, if they have planned a Nintendo Direct, but I know they have planned something within the month of June and July, because I'm thinking like a business person and not like a fan. I'm not thinking like a YouTuber. I'm thinking like a business person and a shareholder. Nintendo needs a holiday lineup, whether there are ports, whether there are anything related to newer games, because I doubt Nintendo will repackage again the same exact Mario Kart little bundle and offer it again this year. I know they've done it almost every year, but you know what? They're probably gonna do it this year too. But they need a holiday lineup, and I can tell you that they will be giving us either ports, remakes, or something in that sort. No major games are making it this year besides Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4. We have the Fire Emblem Engage at the beginning of the year, and that's basically it for major games for this year. No Mario game unless it's a port, unless it's the Paper Mario Thousand Island remake or port to the Nintendo Switch, right? No other major games unless it's the port from Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and so on, right? So it just makes sense for Nintendo to give us something very, very soon. And I'm talking here common sense. I'm not talking as a gamer again. I'm not talking as a YouTuber. I'm talking as a business person, because I do have stocks in Nintendo, and I have worked for a tech company that, plans things ahead because it's intentional. When you're a company, you have to plan things ahead intentionally, not just drop things last minute willy-nilly without giving it the proper promotion and expect things to go great, right? So it just makes sense for Nintendo to have a presentation within the month of June or July to announce the holiday season. The September Direct is for them to announce the following games the following year. It's too late to announce holiday games in September. October, believe it or not, October is the beginning of the holiday promotional period for Nintendo. That's when they start really pushing everything for the holiday. They start putting their packages together, they start announcing their deals together, and so on. So this Nintendo having multiple presentations this year, I don't doubt. I feel Nintendo will have a Direct. We know that we have that Nintendo Live event in September, November. I really can't remember what it is, but it's in that Nintendo Live event. We don't know what Nintendo has planned for that. We don't know what Nintendo has planned for the E3 period of Nintendo, right? And we know we have Summer Game Fest and of course Game of the Year at the end of the year. So it's up to Nintendo to decide what they want to do. But I just want to let you know they are going to do something. They are going to release some games. And no, I'm not talking about the September Direct. I'm not talking about the end of the year. It doesn't make sense for Nintendo to wait that long, because while they wait with nothing planned, their stocks can plummet, can go down, right? Nintendo stockholders are looking for Nintendo to constantly move forward, right? Tears of the Kingdom is not the one game that's going to keep the stock up the entire time. It's a great game, it's a big seller, but hey, Mario is bigger and they need to release another Mario every single time. So there you have it, guys. I want to know what you guys think down below in the comments. What do you think Nintendo, if they have anything planned within the next 2 months, what do they have planned, and what games would you love Nintendo to showcase in these future plans that they have? That's going to do it for this episode of the Odyssey. I am Mike Odyssey, but before I let you go, I have 2 important things I need to let you know. Number 1, never give up, and number 2, journey on. Peace.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now.